How many of you have gone to post, you know you need to post something, and then you're just stuck staring at your phone for a long time, wondering to yourself, what the heck should I even post right now? So today, first of all, I've been in your shoes. I've learned a lot over the past few years, and now I'm going to share with you some tricks that I've developed, also how to set yourself up for success, batch shooting the whole month. That's the game changer right there. And in this episode, I'm going to give you actual 20 content ideas that you can start implementing today. So keep on watching and we'll get straight into it. Welcome to The Rebel Show, the podcast for estheticians who want to grow their business, master social media, and perfect their waxing technique. I'm Bree Mesquit, esthetician, business coach, and founder of Rebel Wax and first-to-market wax pads. I built a 6-figure clientele, a 7-figure brand, and have trained over 15,000 waxers through my in-person and online courses. Are you struggling to book clients or market yourself? You're in the right place. Each week, I bring real business strategies, waxing education, and no BS advice to help you grow. Let's get into it. Welcome back to the show. I'm excited about this one today. It's always a hot topic. Social media, what the heck to be posting? It is a struggle for a lot of us out there, including a lot of my coaching clients. This is one of the things we spend a lot of our time on our coaching calls talking about is content creation, and not just content creation. We don't want to just check this off the list of things to do. We want it to attract followers that will actually convert into paying clients. So you probably heard me say this before. I'd rather you have 1,000 followers producing 10,000 in revenue rather than 10,000 followers producing 1,000 in monthly revenue. So let me get straight into some of the tricks I've developed over just the years of trial and error. This is my 9th year in content creation. Started off on Instagram, then went into Instagram and TikTok, and now I'm here on the Tube and on podcast as well, which is like super crazy. If you would have told me I would have had a podcast episode even like a year and a half ago, I would have been like, that sounds nice, but I don't think so. But here we are. We're a solid year into it. So I've learned some things and I want to share it with you guys. So first of all, mindset. So I'm always going to start with mindset because it's so incredibly important. So you're probably overthinking it. That is the number one thing that I always see and I have experienced myself is just overthinking it. Let me ask you something. Have you ever experienced this? Have you ever created a piece of content that you spent a long time on, getting the perfect shots, angles, lighting, refilming 5 million times so every word is spoken perfectly, the text overlay was mapped out perfectly, your song choice, your caption, your hook, everything, your CTA, it was just solid gold. You post and then freaking crickets. And then there's those random posts you throw up in 2 seconds and they just pop off and like go to the moon. Why? Like it's so frustrating, right? We've all experienced that. Well, that kind of goes to show you right there. A lot of times overthinking can be the main problem. So first of all, we want to cut out the overthinking and we want to cut out the goal of being perfect and perfecting every piece of content. That doesn't equate to good performance is perfection, okay? It's actually quite the opposite. Also, I want you to stop comparing yourself to other creators. This is why personally I am naturally more of a creative. I am a creative person. I love social media. I can hate it at the same time, but I do enjoy it. It is a creative outlet for me. But I had to put some safeguards in place for myself because I really tend to compare what I'm doing to others and feeling like, I would see their content. I'm like, that's creative. That's really good. Like, I'm not doing enough. I need to do it that way. But we all, just like we are individual, unique humans, we're individual, unique creators online as well, because ultimately we're just showcasing ourselves, our beliefs, our skill sets, our businesses online. So it shouldn't be any different online as you are in person. So what I've had to do is actually, I don't follow a lot of other creators that are within my same space, within my industry, within my niche. It just clouds my thinking. I start to compare. I start to feel like I'm not doing enough or I need to do it in certain ways. And then it really can hinder my authenticity and originality. That's the biggest thing, is then I don't feel like I'm showing up super authentically and original if I'm too clouded and bombarded with other creators, specifically in my niche. I do love to follow other small business owners, and I'll see them do something a certain way and be like, oh my gosh, that was super cute. I loved that. How can I tailor that for my audience? And then I don't feel like I'm copying anyone. I'm using it as inspiration, because we're just not in the same niche, not in the same field. So I very much have to create it to be my own. So that is something that I love to do. Also, if you're too disconnected from what your big why is, which ultimately it's to serve the person on the other side of the screen. I see a lot of people posting for themselves, what they would like to see, or what they want to kind of like, in essence, like show off of themselves, but not positioning it in a way of what's in it for the person on the other side of the screen. So we need to keep our why first and foremost, which should be serving your audience, serving your current clientele, serving that future potential clientele, and making sure every piece of content you're asking yourself, not what's in it for me, but what's in it for them. Okay, so that's gonna be a big deal. Hey guys, quick interruption to the show to bring you a offer you won't be able to resist. If you have not yet tried Rebel Wax, then go ahead and visit our site, lashandwaxoc.com, and use code TRYREBEL, all one word, code TRYREBEL, to claim 2 free sample size bags. What you want to be focusing on instead, first of all, is I don't want you guys doing one whole post, each step individually to create one post in one sit down. I want you to break down all the steps that it takes to create a post. There's first the ideation, so coming up with the idea. So that's step number 1. Then we have the actually filming or creating of the content. That could be filming the video, filming the B-roll, taking the picture. Then we have the editing process, adding the text overlay, editing the reel, adding trending audio. Okay, then we have the caption writing. So writing your caption, having a hook, writing the body of the caption, and having a CTA, your call to action. Then we have the actual posting itself too, right? So that's 6 different steps. I don't want you to each post do all 6 steps, go on to the next post, do all 6 steps, so on, so on. I want you to do step 1 for 10 posts, step 2 for 10 posts, step 3 for 10 posts. Instead of having to transfer to different tasks so often, which just completely throws you off and can be really overwhelming, you're focusing on one thing at a time and batching it. So how do I do this? My ideas I'm doing all the time. So how do I come up with content ideas? It's what conversations am I having in my DMs? What am I being asked from my coaching clients? So for you guys, it could be, what are potential clients DMing me and asking me? What are they commenting on my Instagram posts or on my TikTok posts? What conversations are we having in the treatment room? Now you have to remember, a lot of these things feel super common sense or just very familiar to us because we're in it and this is our livelihood, this is our career, we're talking about this stuff all the time. So to us, we may think, oh, everyone knows this, or this isn't interesting to them, but they don't know this. They're not in this field. They're not in it every day like we are. So asking, well, I'm always getting ingrowns, what do I do? For us, it might feel like, I've talked about this 50 times. This isn't an interesting post, but it is if you're keeping that why in mind, right? Which is to gain new clients, then it is interesting to that new client. They may have never heard this before, or this is one of my favorite sayings, people need to be reminded more than they need to be taught. And if you can really understand that and embrace that, then that's going to relieve a lot of pressure from you to constantly have to come up with new. You don't always need to be coming up with new. You just need to maybe say it in a different way, put it in a different style of post, or repeat the same thing over and over. Honestly, if you guys go back and listen through my YouTube videos, my podcast videos here, or my podcast here, if you're just listening or if you're watching on YouTube, go through my Instagram posts, you're going to see me repeating a lot of the same stuff, including the message I'm sharing with you right here, right now. So people need to be reminded more than they need to be taught. You do not need to constantly be coming up with new. So ideas, I'm constantly writing down. I have a notepad in my phone, and anytime a topic is asked, today, I had a client ask me, or a coaching client asked what app I use to edit, which is the Edits app, and then asking just kind of like some tips. So then I'm like, okay, this is a piece of content. Now I have on my schedule, I'm going to film a YouTube training video of actually live in real time of me editing one of my reels so I can show you guys the tools I use. So bring the conversations from the treatment room onto your social media, online. Then you can create, now I'm getting on squirrel moment, but you can create these pieces of content into multiple different pieces of content. Carousel, B-roll, talking head, and email newsletters, because you guys need to be utilizing email newsletters to nurture your current clientele as well. All right, that's a topic for a different time. Actually, I probably have already talked about that here on my podcast. All right, so that's one thing I'm always doing is taking down ideas. Then we go to the creation. So then I look at it and I'm like, I look at all my 10 ideas that I came up with. I'm like, okay, what B-roll do I need for this? So I'm always, when I go in, like for you guys, when you go into your treatment room, set up your phone, and in one day you can easily get 10 different B-rolls or maybe even 5 B-rolls. Set your phone up on a tripod, maybe you cleaning your wax pot, then another one of you filling up your wax pot, then of you setting out your SMA, cleaning your treatment table, just doing your normal daily activities. Capture that, get about 10 to 12 second videos. You'll probably, when you go into the editing process, use like 6 to 8 seconds of it, but just get like a 10 to 12 second shot of you just doing random daily activities that you do in order to run your business. You could be on your laptop checking your schedule for the day. You could be texting a client, anything that you normally do. And it can seem like boring and uninteresting to you, but it's interesting to other people. And we use that as B-roll to put text over, shoot them down to the caption to read more. So super valuable. B-rolls are performing really, really well, and they're one of the easiest to get. Maybe you look at your content ideas and you think, okay, maybe I should get a picture of me holding an ingrown hair serum or of applying it, or maybe I should get a picture of me dripping wax so I can put text overlay of whatever topic idea it is that you had. Okay, so that's then the creation. Then the editing. You want to edit all of these in one time when you're feeling really creative. So editing is something that I like to do during like my ovulation phase. So if you're a female listening to this with the menstrual cycle, then we all go through different phases during our menstrual cycle, right? And usually leading up to your menstrual cycle, you're feeling more down, not as creative, not as motivated. So stop working against yourself and work with your body, work with your cycles. This has been a game changer for me. So after my period, probably like 3 days after my period ends, I go through like a week and a half to 2 weeks of feeling more motivated, more creative, and more willing to show up here on camera and to do the editing process. So it's the filming and the editing where I really try to, and the caption writing, where I really try to plan that, batching that during that 2-week period where I'm feeling more creative and more willing to show up in that way. So we want to batch and set ourselves up for success for the 2 weeks that are going to come that we know we're a little bit more down. During those 2 weeks, though, always still be collecting ideas because you're still showing up to service your clients. You're still having conversations with your clients. So write those things down. It doesn't take much brain power. It just takes the discipline to actually put it down on paper. You may think you'll remember. You won't remember. As soon as you're on to the next client, the next thing, you've forgotten about that. It's no longer top of mind. So make sure you write that down. So after editing, then I would go through and write your captions. What I like to do is use ChatGPT. Help me with a caption for this reel I just did talking all about ingrowns. So ingrowns can happen after your second, third time waxing because your hair thin and softens at that point. Blah, blah, blah. Talk through. You're the expert. You know all the details. Don't feel like you have to say it to ChatGPT all perfectly and structured well. There's a lot of times I'm like, wait, oops, I forgot this point and then this and that. I just talk how I normally do, and it's crazy. It's so ChatGPT is a game changer, and then it perfectly lines everything up, puts it nice nicely formatted. I also prompt ChatGPT with make sure to use SEO terms. So for you guys, SEO terms are going to include the services that you perform, so like Brazilian waxing, and your location as well. So then in the caption, it may say something, how to best prep for a Brazilian wax, making sure that you are avoiding ingrown hairs, and like come visit my waxing studio in Bend, Oregon. Those SEO, so on July 10th, things changed with Instagram. I no longer am using hashtags because it's all SEO linked up with Google. So now you have the opportunity, if someone goes on Google and types in Brazilian waxing Bend, Oregon, which is what a client's most likely searching if they're looking for what services it is that you have to offer, then if those terms are in my caption on Instagram, or something I'm verbally saying on my post, or written in my text overlay on my B-roll or in my carousel post, then Google's AI and all that seeks out those terms, and you're more likely to show up now on Google through your social media posts. So absolutely huge. So make sure you use that prompt with ChatGPT when you're using it to help you write your captions. All right. And then what you can do, put all those captions into your posts, schedule them, or just put it in your drafts so that now it's already prepped and ready to go and ready for you when it's time to post it. Okay. So that's kind of the 6 steps that every single post needs. And that's how I personally batch it. And it eventually, believe it or not, you will get to a point where you have so much content ideas and so many things that you don't know what to do first. Okay. Side note. Be very careful about when you're in this creative phase and you feel like you just have so much and you're so excited. You're like, I have this idea, this, and you're able to create 7 posts in one day. It's so tempting. Do not post all of them that day. It's so hard because you're like, these are going to hit. These are good. I'm on fire. And you want to share it with your audience, but save them 1 a day. Okay. Eventually you may get up to 2, 3 posts a day. That's like expert mode. And it's not as sustainable for someone who's doing this solo. So right now I want you guys no more than 1 a day. If you're super beginner, 3 times a week. So awesome. If you're able to batch out 7 in a day, amazing. Let them sit in your drafts. Do not post them all at once, because then they're going to go to waste. And then those 2 weeks when you're feeling all down and not motivated anymore, you've already burnt through all of your content that you made. So that's something I personally can really struggle with, because I just get so excited. I'm like, oh, these are so good. I want to share it. Okay, so here are some easy I promised you 20 pieces of content ideas. So here they are. So first, under education, maybe it's busting a myth. Like, you don't need to prep for your wax appointment. That's a myth. And then you can go in and share on how they would prep. Another one under education, 1 tip to prep for a service, or 1 tip to prevent ingrown hair. So giving a tip. Another idea under education, your favorite product and why. Explain a common mistakes that clients can make. So think back to your times with your clients. What's a mistake that someone's made? Maybe recently I had someone come in. She was a demo model for me, and she went to the tanning salon earlier that day. Not a good idea. Skin can get lifted. Show the difference between wax types. Maybe it's a this versus that, soft wax versus hard wax, why you choose to use whatever it is that you use, right? Next, under client language. So this is answering a question from your DM. So go through your DMs, any questions you've been asked, go ahead and answer them. Moving forward, anytime a DM is sent to you with a question, copy and paste it and put it into your content idea notepad on your phone. Or, my client asked me this today. So this is a prime example of bringing those conversations from the treatment room online onto your social media. So maybe they asked, how often am I supposed to be getting waxed? Or am I able to go float the river after my appointment? Or do I need to wait? Can I have sex? That's a question I'm asked all the time afterwards. And I tell them 24 hours, no petting, no sweating. So that's something that you can talk about. What to expect before and after a service. So that's another content idea. Something you wish every client knew. That's a great one as well. All right, under social proof, share a review or a testimony. Testimonies are always ideal, where someone actually does a selfie video like this. I went to see Bree at Rebel Wax Studio. She was awesome. Or you can share a review that was written either through your booking site if you collect reviews there, or Google reviews as well, which you guys, side note, should absolutely be focusing on collecting Google reviews. All right, next, post a before and after with context. So maybe this client shaved only 4 days prior, and look at like the results she got because I use XYZ wax, Rebel Wax, and it's the best and it grabs everything. Shameless plug. But a before and after picture with context. Don't just leave the picture. What's in it for the client with that? They don't know what they're looking at. Repost a story from a happy client. So maybe a client got on their stories and was talking about you. Make sure you repost them onto your story and then save them. You can actually download and save that video. That can become a feed post. Show screenshots of client wins. Maybe someone DMs you and says, hey, I just want to let you know this was like the best experience I've had. I've gone elsewhere before and they were rude, or it was painful, or they didn't explain this or that to me, and I just wanted to thank you. That's a client win. Screenshot that and share it. Maybe they text you something like that. Screenshot that and share it. Behind the scenes, your setup. So this is great for B-roll, showing your setup, showing you restocking your supplies, showing you prepping your wax spot, showing your daily routine. You get caught, you like to go to Dutch Bros. What's your Dutch Bros orders? This is building a little bit more of that human to human connection, showing who you are, your personality, your likes, your dislikes. People relate and really like that. Right? Next is relatable and real. So talking about a time maybe you almost gave up, maybe when you were newly solo and you only had 2 clients, on your schedule for the week. Share those stories, share the hardship with people, bring them along for the journey. Or if you're in that struggle currently, share it with people. People buy from people, want to support others, especially those who are brave enough to go after their dreams. They want to support you. How many times have we seen people blow up on TikTok and their businesses completely change overnight because someone else took a video and said, this is my grandpa, he makes leather, book markers, and no one's purchased from him, and it's like a sad story, and then the next day he's has 1,000 orders, and now he's stressed out and doesn't know how to fulfill all these orders. It happens. People want to support you, okay, but they can't if you're not showing up and you're not letting them in on what is going on. So share that stuff. Things I wish I knew when I got started. But we do not want to be talking to other professionals right now. If your goal is building your clientele, so instead of things I wish I knew when I got started, I would say it needs to be client focused. Things I wish my clients knew before coming in for their first wax. Make it client related, not other professional related. A common fear that you've overcome, or maybe a common fear that new clients have that you help them overcome. A reminder that your audience needs to hear. So this could be something like, I'm not judging your stretch marks, your hemorrhoids, your mom belly. This is a safe space. I embrace and love every woman's body is beautiful, or man's, whoever your ideal client is. So a reminder that your audience really needs to hear. All right. Timely posts. So these are things like your openings for the week you can share. Now, if you have you're brand new and you're open Monday through Friday and you have 2 people on your do not show just full books. Just say, I have some appointments available this week. Click the link in my bio to go ahead and book. Or better yet, use DM automation like ManyChat and say, comment book below for me to send the booking link directly to your inbox. That is going pro, and it doesn't take much time to set that up, and it's really highly converting. Highly recommend it. Link in bio is kind of dead. It still works, but it's kind of dead. You can share if you have any cancellations or last minute reschedules. So last minute openings, new client promotions, referral perks. If you have a referral deal, I do send me 3, get 1 free. If you have package deals, that can be a post as well. Seasonal waxing tips. So maybe you have different tips for people during the summer than during the winter, which there should be, because in the summer, their skin's more exposed. They're out in the sun. In the winter, it can be dry. They need more moisturization. Just talk about about those things too. Or here's what's happening this week. Maybe you're repainting your studio that week, or you got a new treatment table you're excited about, or a new wax pad from Lash and Wax OC. Share those things. Or maybe it's like, I'm taking a day off and I'm taking my family to the coast for the weekend. Like, share that too. So there's 20 ideas right there. So no excuses, you guys. Use this, start implementing, but really it's the batching that's going to be the biggest game changer for you, right? And then you really want to keep it simple. We don't need to, oftentimes I'll kind of like audit some of my coaching clients, their Instagram and their posts. And a lot of times I'll read a post, I'm like, this could have actually been 3 different posts. Like, we don't want to give too much in one post. We want to simplify, okay? Don't be afraid to repost and reuse. So reposting is simply reposting things that have performed really well. If it's been at least like 2 months is usually ideal. So if it's done well, just go ahead and repost it. You can save it without the watermark using snapinsta.to. It is a website. If it's a TikTok, TikSave, which is an app, TIK save, and you can actually download things that you've already posted if you don't have it saved somewhere in your camera roll already, and then go ahead and repost it, all right? Or reusing. So what I mean by reusing is, say a carousel posted really, really well, and you just go ahead and say, okay, how can I say this exact same thing, but share it now in a B-roll reel instead, or as a talking head video. Instead of the text being on the carousel, I'm going to talk and say the information to the camera. So reuse things as well. This, again, you don't always have to be coming up with new. We just need to be on top of like reusing what we've already created as well. So my challenge to you is go ahead and start implementing these things, you guys, starting today with jotting down ideas, okay? That's something you can always be doing. And hey, if it's been 10 days, 20 days, 30 days, 5 months since you've posted, it's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. We don't want to create that habit going forward, but today's a new day. Go ahead and post something and then commit. If you're just getting started, 2-3 times a week. 2 times a week, something new, and then maybe 1 repost. There you go. Now you're done, and stay consistent. It is all about consistency over time, and you can't get better at something if you're not willing to get started and be bad at it, okay? So I encourage you, get started, be bad at it, and you're going to learn and you're going to get better. I promise you. You should see my post from 8 years ago, 9 years ago when I first got started. It is cringe worthy, okay? So get through the cringe. But if you're trying to avoid that because you're trying to aim for perfection, you're never going to get through the cringe. You're never going to get to the other side and have well-performing, high-converting post, all right? Okay, I hope this was helpful for you. If it was, go ahead and let me know in the comments below. Let me know if there's anything else you want me to talk on specifically, whether it's social media, business building, mindset, any of it. Let me know. I am here to serve you guys. And then please make sure you are subscribed before you log off here with me. It's really helpful for us to be able to keep producing these videos for you. So subscribe, and then I will see you back on Monday.